Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Freight Train Adventures. Today, I was going to do the rear shocks on the 250 like I said in the last video, but unfortunately, my mom's Yukon over here decided to not like its alternator anymore, so now we got to replace that. So I'm just going to show you basically how to change that alternator, and then hopefully probably tomorrow I could probably get to those rear shocks that I've been meaning to do. So just follow along with me. Alright guys, so first things first, we're going to take the belt off of the alternator. It's going to be right here, that the tensioner, and it's a 15 millimeter. So I'm going to use the 15 millimeter with the breaker bar, and then I'm going to undo it and take off the belt off the alternator. Alrighty, we got the belt off the alternator now. So now we can undo the wire, this wire here, and we can unbolt it from its own bracket and then replace it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alrighty guys, so the bracket for the alternator here is also a 15 millimeter. So I'm gonna take these bolts out, and then I can get to the electrical connections on the back here. Alrighty guys, so as you saw, took some little elbow grease to get it out because it has these shims here, but just a little prying on it, it'll come right out. So now we got to get these electric connections off and get a new one. Alright, so this nut right here is a 10 millimeter. So you just use a 10 millimeter with a regular socket right here and it should come off.
So what do you have to replace anyways? The whole thing?
Yeah. Alright, and then this one, I just took a flathead screwdriver to it, pried up, and it comes right out. There you go. Alrighty guys, there you go. There's the alternator out of this 2007 Yukon. Looks like it was replaced before, but that's not an issue. So, we gotta replace it now. So we're gonna go to our local auto parts store here and go get another one. Alright guys, so just came back with a new alternator. Turns out this one was a 160 amp, so the two choices were 145 and 160. Thankfully I had a part number on mine right about here, and we cross-referenced it and it showed up to be 160. So if you have a part number on yours, you can probably find out. If not, what they do is they search it by the VIN number and then they can get it from there. Alright guys, so basically the reverse of how we took it off. So this clip first and then the power lead. So this one just clips right in here. There you go. And this, just undo this. Alright, you take the nut off. Now just set your terminal on there. And then retighten that nut. You want it snug, not too tight, just so you don't move anything that you don't have to. Alright, got your protective boot on. You got your other clip on. Now put it back in its bracket. Alright, so just like how it wants to take it out, it requires a little bit of shimming and kind of a little bit of elbow grease, but once you get your holes lined up here, you can just slide your bolts in to hold it in place, and then we'll tighten them down. Again, it's a 15 millimeter, so just tighten them all the way down, and then we'll attach our belt. Now make sure that your belt goes under this pulley, over your alternator, down to your crank, and over this, and back over your tensioner. And it should be tight. So we'll see if she cranks over. Hopefully she does, and then if not, we'll see if we have to replace the battery too. So let's see if she does it. Okay guys, well, It looks like the battery's dead, so I'm gonna have to see if I can jump it off and see if she'll start up. So yeah, let's see if I can jump it off. If not, let's see if I have to charge it or replace the battery. All right, guys. So we got that alternator on. So I guess and it didn't want to start. Now I got to replace this starter on this one. So we're gonna go down on the bottom of the vehicle and take out the starter and replace it, and hopefully the Yukon will start after that. If not, I'm just gonna have to troubleshoot it again. So we're about to go down there and replace the starter. Alrighty, guys, so there's the starter right there. Looks like it's covered up in gunk, so that's probably what made the starter fail. So hopefully we can replace it, and hopefully this Yukon will start right up after. Alrighty, guys, so it looks like it's a half-inch socket. So as you can see, we have 2 bolts that hold it in, so we're gonna undo this one. Alright, guys, so correction on the last socket, half-inch was a bit too snug. It's actually a 13mm, so all we have left is that last bolt there, and then we gotta take it out and then undo the wires. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, guys, so there's that old starter. It looks all old and grimy. So I don't know how good in the video it was, but these right here, these 2 bigger ones were 13mm bolts, and then this one was a 10. And then you just take those out, and then you take these bolts out, and then it should just drop out. So back to the auto parts store, swap this out with another one, and we should be back on the road. So let's get this thing going. Alrighty, guys, so that's how a new one is supposed to look like. There you go. I'm gonna put it in. The other one had a big old play on it. I could just shake it and the little input shots would just come in and out. So looks a lot better. Hopefully it'll get back on the road. Alrighty, guys, so I just installed the starter and a new alternator, and the battery's up to charging, so it should crank over. So let's go find out. Nope. Nada. Damn it.